A very good evening and a very warm welcome to Buddhist Mahavihara's Facebook page here live this evening. We are on the Buddhist Mahavihara Dhammadana series, and this evening, Sunday evening, we have to apologize that we had to start a little late because of some technical difficulties we had to face. But all the same, we are proceeding with this evening's talk. And as promised, we have with us Professor G. Sumanapala from Sri Lanka. And Professor will be talking on the Sigalovada Sutta. Let me invite Professor Sumanapala to the screen to join us in the studio. Good evening, Professor,
Good evening.
and a warm welcome to Buddhist Mahavihara's Facebook page. And since we started a bit late, what I'll do is I'll read a short version of your profile to the audience for those of them who are not familiar with you, Professor. You don't mind?
Oh, yeah, I don't mind. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, Professor Sumanapala was a senior professor and the chair of the Department of Pali and Buddhist Studies at the University of Kelaniya in Sri Lanka. He obtained his BA honors, the masters, and his PhD degrees from the same university. And in addition to his services at the University of Kelaniya, he has served 1 year as the director and lecturer at the Vikramarachi Ayurvedic Institute, University of Kelaniya, and then 7 years as the director of the Postgraduate Institute of Pali and Buddhist Studies, also at the University of Kelaniya. He has published more than 30 books and nearly 100 research papers in Sinhala and English, covering subjects such as Pali, Sanskrit, Buddhist philosophy, culture, Ayurveda, astrology, and research methodology. He has also published Pali and Sanskrit poems on Buddhist philosophy. He is a member of the board of directors of the Sanchi University of Buddhist Indic Studies in India, and executive council member of the International Association of Buddhist Universities based in Bangkok, Thailand. He is present. He serves at present. He serves as the course coordinator and member of the council, and the dean of the Faculty of Traditional Systems of Medicine at the Nagananda International Institute of Buddhist Studies at Kelaniya. With that very distinguished profile and CV of our professor, I'm sure we will have a very pleasant and enlightening evening. And now I hand the studio to Professor Sumanapala. Professor?
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Leslie, the Secretary of the Buddhist Mahavihara. Today also, I am very thankful to Mr. Leslie, the Secretary of the Buddhist Mahavihara, and all other members for inviting me to have this discussion today evening. Last week we discussed about the Mangala Sutta and I presented the planning for its implementation. And today I hope to discuss some matters regarding the Sigala Sutta, or popularly known as Sigalovada Sutta, which occurs in the Digha Nikaya. Sigala Sutta is a very important discourse among other discourses because many scholars all over the world have expressed their uh, interest in this sutta because the commentary also says that what should be followed by a layman as a Buddhist, all these are included in this sutta. Therefore, some scholars say that it is a collection of all ethical codes which are very necessary for to lead the happy and prosperous life. But my opinion is that because there are many other discourses regarding the ethical codes relevant to the lay people. That means Mangala Sutta that I have already discussed, and Vasala Sutta, Parabhava Sutta, Yaggapajya Sutta, etc. There are a number of discourses which deal with the ethical behavior of the lay people. But however, according to my understanding and my opinion, Sigala Sutta is a special ethical discourse. I think it advises how to build up a businessman, good businessman, successful businessman, because business is a very famous subject today all over the world. Therefore, according to the Buddhist point of view, how we build up a character to become a successful businessman in the future. Actually, we have to plan this from the childhood. Then I will explain the content of the discourse along this way. Because how to build up a good character to do business successfully in the future, especially from childhood. Therefore, there are main teachings, so main doctrines included in the Sigalovada Sutta, four defilements, Chattaro Kamma Kilesa, four kinds of defiled actions, and also Chattaro Agati, that means four things that which leads the people to the wrong side. So people are led by astray by these mental aspects. And also it includes about the good friends and the bad friends. And also what are the things that we have to avoid in social activities. And also how to earn and how to expend, and also how to perform one's duties. These are the, in brief, the content of the sutta. Then I think for a Buddhist, especially economic condition is very important. Once a novice answered to a question, what is number one, Ekanama king? Then his answer was, all people depend on food. Sabbe satta ahara titika. Therefore, food or economy is one of the most important factors of life. Therefore, in addition to the other aspects, one should be successful in economic condition in life. Otherwise, all other things will be unhappy, because all people depend on food. We have to live first, right? But however, in a stanza in Dhammapada, I think I have mentioned it earlier also, there are four requirements in life. Arogya Paramalabha, physical well-being. Then physical well-being is related to the food and drinks that we take in day-to-day life. And Santutti Paramangdhanang, mental well-being. And Vissasa Paramanyati, social well-being. And Nibbanang Paramang Sukhang, spiritual well-being. These are the four requirements of a successful life. Therefore, food and drinks that we take plays an important role in our life. Therefore, we should be success in economic endeavor. For that purpose, we cannot become a successful businessman anytime, but we should develop a character from childhood to become a successful businessman in the future. I think the advices given in this discourse, Sigala Sutta, are very important in that regard. I will start with the first teaching. There are four defiled actions that we have to refrain from. That means we have to train our children to refrain from these four actions if we wish him or her to become a very successful businessman in the future. Panati pato adinnadana. to refrain from killing, to refrain from stealing. Panatipato adinnadanam musavado pavuchyati. To refrain from lying. Paradara gamanam chevanappasansanti pandita. To refrain from adultery. These are the 4 defiled actions someone should refrain from if he or she wishes to become a successful businessman in the future. Although I am emphasizing the fact that successful businessman, but remember that all these ethical codes are very important for other aspects of life also. But I am concerning only this aspect, business. Then that means, but however, we always recite the 5 precepts, panati pata veramani, adinnadana veramani, kamesu michachara veramani, musavada veramani, suramere majjapmadattana veramani. But mostly we don't understand the meanings. But we translate, yes, panati pata veramani, I refrain from killing. But this is not the real meaning of the term. Because, pana atipata, there are 2 terms euphonically joined as panatipata. The commentarial interpretation is that panassa sanikang patum adattva ativa patanam panatipato. Normally, all beings slowly going to the death. Day by day, they are reaching the death. We cannot stop it. All beings in the world, all things in the world, little by little, step by step, day by day, they are reaching the death. They are going to the death. That is the nature. But this process of going to the death can be accelerated by others. How? We can pollute the environment. We can make poisonous food. We can threaten the people and they will be sick, right? Then their lifespan will be shortened. That means, panati pata veramani means I refrain from any action which will shorten the lifespan of people. It's a wider sense. It's not just not to kill, because no need to advise it is by a Buddha, because all of us know killing is wrong. But however, we can indirectly shorten the lifespan of the people by making many other activities. Therefore, its wider meaning is not to engage in any action which shorten the lifespan of people. Let us take, I am not going to explain all the precepts in this way, it will take too much time because limited time. Second one, adinna dana veramani. It is not actually, the literary meaning is not, I am refraining from stealing. It is also 2 words together, adinna adana. I am refraining from taking what is not given. Taking what is not given. What does it mean? If we cannot take anything, if it is not given to us, that means we have to wait until someone gives us something. Because we cannot take anything if it is not given to us. But it means that everything should come to us, then only we can accept. Otherwise, we cannot take anything. Then it is meaningless. But however, this means is, deeper meaning is that there should be an exchange between the giver and the receiver. If we take anything from this world, that world means people, environment and everything. If we take anything from this world, we also should do something. as a response to that taking. For example, let us say, if we take a fruit from a tree and eat and go, it is adinnadana because the tree didn't give that fruit to me. I took it and ate and went away. Therefore, I also should give something. That means I can pour some water or I can put some manure for the growth of the tree. Then only I have exchanged it. I have taken a fruit. In return, I have given something to the tree. Then I am free. I am not indebted to the world. And suppose that if I ask from someone how to go to Mahavihara in Malaysia, then someone says, okay, you go by this way, this way, this way. And then if I go without saying anything, I am Adinnadana Veramani. I have taken the service of a person to go to Buddhist Mahavihara. But I didn't say even a word. But if I say, thank you very much, then I am free because I have taken the service of the person. In return, I have given him a thanks. Then I am free. Everywhere, if all people in the world follow this method, in exchange, if we take anything from the world, we also should give to the world something. Then whole world will be very peaceful, very prosperous. That is the problem. Because if I cut a tree, I have to plant a tree. That is the way. Otherwise, I have taken one tree from the environment, but I have not given anything. But if I plant another tree on behalf of that, then I am not indebted to the world. I think there are in this way very deep meanings of the precepts. Therefore, in order to become a good businessman, we have to refrain from killing, refrain from stealing, and also committing adultery and panatipato, adinnadana, musavado, refrain from lying. Because lying is, because in our life we need fame, good name. How to take good name? How to get a good name? Tell the truth. Sachena chittim pappoti. People become famous. People become pleasant to the others if they speak the truth. That means, popularity is very important as far as business is concerned. Right? Panatipatu, adinnadana. And also, panatipata means actually security of life. Adinnadana means security of properties. Kamesu michachara means security of family life. Refraining from lying or musawada means protection of good name, confidence, right? And Suramere Majjapama Dattana, refraining from alcohol means security of health. That means, businessman or any person should be healthy, happy, mentally and physically. Therefore, and also children cannot understand many complex things. Therefore, we have to train them to follow these rules and regulations. Don't kill, don't steal, etc. Then now they grow to some extent, let us say about 10 years old or 15 years old. Then now, by following those precepts, we develop their character, behavioral character. That means external behavior. First of all, we have to systematize the external behavior because we cannot explain and they cannot understand. Therefore, from childhood, we have to train them to follow some rules and regulations. That is the first step. Then, when they grow old, about let us say 15, 16, 18 years old, then we have to develop their mentality, mental condition. Therefore, in the Sigalovada Sutta, second item is Chanda, Dosa, Bhaya, Moha, Yodhammang Ativattati. We have to teach the children, you will be led astray by these mental aspects. What are those? Chanda, Because of desire. Because of desire, you will do anything. Therefore, be careful. Don't be oppressed by desire and engage in bad activities. Desire should be in a normal level, but if it is too much increased, you will engage in bad activities. Therefore, it should be controlled. Chanda. Those hate also should be controlled. Otherwise, you will be engaged in many bad activities if the hate is increased in your mind. Chanda, the bhaya, fear. Because of fear, people do anything because of fear. Fear is very uncertain. Therefore, people's behavior will be upset. Therefore, we have to advise the child now. Remember fear. I think in Malay also, Bahaya or something like that, I have seen Bahaya or fear, same. Then, fear. Because of fear, people are led astray. Therefore, we have to control it. We have to teach the children to control it. Chanda, dosa, bhaya, moha. The delusion, right? Misunderstanding will lead to astray. Therefore, we have to advise the children. When you take a decision, before that you have to study well the problem or any matter. And after that, come to the conclusion. Therefore, mentality should be developed as the second step. If you want to become a good, successful businessman or any person, member of the person, right? Then behavioral pattern should be maintained well. Then the mentality should be well developed. Especially, one should be able to control desire, hate, fear, and misunderstanding. Because people act at once due to misunderstanding without thinking. Therefore, these four aspects are very important in order to develop a personality. Then, next thing is that now you know the person's external behavior and internal behavior are well restrained up to about 20 years old. We have to train. It is the responsibility of teachers and parents. Then now the good personality, but however, now he or she is not yet exposed to the society. Therefore, now at this third stage, we have to introduce him or her the nature of the society. Otherwise, if we are self-restrained, but if we don't know the real nature of the external society, we will be led astray. Therefore, Sigalovada the Sutta introduces two kinds of friends. That means, and also six kinds of bad actions to be refrained, right? That means engage in gambling, taking intoxicating drinks, and also association with bad friends, and also traveling in unsuitable times through the cities, and such activities, right? We should refrain from. And also, there are good friends and bad friends. Anyadattuhara, because there are some friends, they want to take something from us. We have to understand them. And there are Vachiparama, there are friends. Always they appreciate us by words, but not by actions. We have to understand such friends, right? Anyadattuhara, Vachiparama, Anupya Bhani. There are some friends recommend everything, whatever we say, good or bad. Such friends are also bad. Vachi Param. Anyadattuhar, Vachi Param, Anup, Apaya Sahaya. There are friends. Always they accompany us for bad things, to drink, to gamble, or such mischievous things. Therefore, we have to refrain from such friends. Then we have to give this understanding to the child, to the young person, there are in the society friends, not good friends, but you have to be careful of them. But in the Sigala Sutta, there are another two kinds of friends mentioned. It is common to all world now today. Hoti Pana Sakhanam. Who are those friends? Always they accompany to drink alcohol. Drinking friends, right? They are millions drinking friends are available throughout the world. Whenever they meet, oh, let us have a drink. These are the very worst friends, right? And also, sammiyo. There are some friends in the modern world also say, at once, whenever we meet, hello, how are you? After a long time, I was thinking about you. And always, whenever we meet, oh, hello, after a long time, I feel like my parents are like that. Many sweet words, right? But they never do anything essential. They only treat us by words. These two kinds of friends are millions such friends are available throughout the world. I have personally experienced. Those are very bad. Therefore, we have to advise the young person, our son or daughter, there are such bad friends. There are, therefore, you should be, we cannot omit them, we cannot reject them. But when you associate with them, understand their character and don't be led astray by them. And also, there are good friends also. Hoti, Samana Sukha Dukkha. They are our friends. Actually, are they possess a similar mind to us, because when we are unhappy, they also unhappy. When we are happy, they are also happy. There are some sharing people because they can share our feelings, right? And also attakai. There are some friends. They always tell us something useful. They don't talk nonsense, right? They don't spend time uselessly with us. Such friends are very important. Samana Sukadukka, Attakai. And also, uh, there are some friends, when we are in danger, when we are in a problem, they immediately come and help us to get rid of that problem or suffering, right? There are such good friends, right? Uh, Therefore, we have to advise our children. There are such two kinds of friends. All are called friends, but some are bad friends, some are good friends. Therefore, you have to associate with them all. But be careful and be informed about their characters, and be careful not to be led astray by their influence. This is a social understanding. Is very important. And also, Sigala Sutta explains some actions, gambling, right? Uh, and taking intoxicating drinks, association with bad friends, and also, going to cinemas and other uh, events all the time and spending much money. Such activities also will be a big damage for your income as well as for other social status, for your social status. We have to train them in the social context as the third step. First step, external behavior should be developed, then the mentality should be developed, then the social context should be explained to them. Then they will not led astray by the social influence because they know the real nature of the society. Now, up, after completing these three stages, let us say he is about 25 years or 30 years. Now he is a very good person to start a business. Till then, he is not suitable. Remember well. Because there are our parents, they work hard earn much, but their children are brought up in a luxurious context, but finally they hand over their things to them, but they don't know the nature of the society, they don't know the nature of the friends, and they have no control in their external behavior, they have no control in their mentality. Then what happens? If the parents earn something within 10 years, it will take only 1 year to destroy everything by your children. Therefore, we have to be very careful about this. Until they come to this level, until they come to the third level, we should not uh, send them to the business. Now you see, now they can start a business. How? They have to earn. How to earn? Bamaraseva iriyato. Like the bee goes from flower to flower and collect honey, but without making any damage to the flower. But as the result, flowers will produce fruit. In such a way, we have to do businesses. But you see today, people are doing businesses. Whole the environment is polluted. People are badly affected, right? Diseases are spread. Environment is very, very bad. Then what happens, But bee, goes from flower to flower and collect honey, but no any damage to the flower. But instead, flower would be able to produce the fruits because the mixing of the necessary elements, because of the travel of the bee. Likewise, without making any damage to the society or environment, we have to invest in the businesses and we have to carry out this. Then another simile is given. Vammiko upachiyati. We have to earn not at once a big amount. Little by little, step by step, like the ant, small ant builds up a huge and strong ant hill by bringing small portions of earth little by little, but in the course of time, it becomes a big ant hill, very strong. Similarly, we also should engage in businesses in small scale, not in large amount. Step by step, we have to develop. These two theories are very important as far as business is concerned. We should not make any damage to the society or environment. And also, we should earn little by little because sometimes when we try to earn much at once, it will be a big problem to the customers as well. Therefore, we have to take little by little in order to build up our economy. Now, we are very successful, right, in business. Then we should know how to spend it. Ekena bhoge bunjaya. 1/4 of our income should be spent for living and doing our duties. Only 1/4. Then dvihi kammam payojaye. 2 portions of our income should be invested again in other industries. 2 parts should be invested. 1 part should be used for day-to-day life for living as well as to perform our duties. And the 4th part should be saved to use in danger. That is how we have to spend. But all these refer to expenditure, because for living, doing duties, and also for investment, and also for saving, all these are expenditure. Therefore, the commentary says, if we spend 4 portions for these things, we have to earn 4 times bigger than the expenditure. Suppose that if I spend 1 rupee for all these, I have to earn 4 rupees. Otherwise, we cannot maintain the income and expenditure. 4 times bigger than the expenditure, we have to earn. That is the way. And what we have to do after becoming a good businessman and after managing income well, what are the things that we have to do? Sigalovada Sutta instructs what are the duties that we have to do. Six directions, six directions, six directions: east, south, west, north, down, and up. There are 6 directions. In these six directions, actually Sigala's father was a businessman, very successful businessman. He had earned much, but he advised his son always, because he and his wife was Sotapanna, extreme winner. Therefore, they advised the son to meet the Buddha and Buddha's disciples. But he said that no, I cannot go to them because it is troublesome. I have to sit on the floor and my clothes will be dirty, and also I have to bend, then it is painful. Like that, I cannot do those things. And after becoming a friend, I have to treat them by food, etc. I cannot go. But finally, father at the deathbed advised him, please worship the 6 directions, in the hope that someone may explain to him the meanings. Then he, at the deathbed, the father's advice he followed. Then early in the morning he gets up and take a bath and worship the 6 directions in order to stop the problems that coming from the 6 directions. One day Buddha was going through Rajagaha and he saw this person worshipping the 6 directions. He asked, what are you doing? I am worshipping the 6 directions in order to eliminate the problems that coming from the 6 directions. Then the Buddha said that, Buddha did not deny that. We also do that, but in the noble order, we are doing in a different way. Then this person also thought, yeah, I am just worshipping. I don't know the meaning. Therefore, this monk says something meaningful. Therefore, I have to follow it. I will listen to him. Then Buddha expressed that while worshipping the eastern directions, you have to do or perform your duties towards your parents. And while worshipping the southern direction, you have to perform your duties towards the teachers. And while worshipping the west, you have to perform your duties towards wives and children. And while worshipping the north, you have to do your duties towards the friends and relations. While worshipping the down, you have to perform your duties towards the workers. And while worshipping the up, you have to perform your duties for the religious people. Now you see, this blank practice became very meaningful. Then what we have to do? What for we are earning? Why we are becoming rich people? To perform our duties towards all these 6 directions, because we are living in a society. We have duties. And Sigalovada Sutta explains 5 duties for each. From the parents, 5 duties to the children. From the parents, 5 duties to the children. From the children, 5 duties towards the parents. 5 duties of the teachers to the student. 5 duties of the student to the teachers. Like that, a big number of duties and responsibilities are explained. Actually, one's life becomes very successful once he is performing his duties well. Then, without a society, we cannot live. Human being is a social animal. Therefore, we have to do our duties. Otherwise, we cannot be happy, right? In the Parabhava Sutta, Pahuta Vitto Puriso, if someone being very rich, Sahiranyo Sabojano, with gold and food, Eko Bunjati Sadhuni, if someone enjoys only by himself, Tam Parabhavato Mukham, it is avenue for downfall. In Parabhava Sutta, it is explained. We have to share everything because everything we leave here when we face the death, we are not taking with us then. Therefore, whatever we earn, we have to share with others for our happiness, prosperity. And these are the main teachings in the Sigala Sutta. Actually, successful life, not only of a businessman, but also an ordinary person, will become successful if they follow these ethical codes. It is a very perfect teaching. Therefore, but I explained it in regard to the business area. Because if we want to make our children good businessmen, please train them in this way. Otherwise, their life also will be upset, and also our businesses also will go down. But although I explained it in regard to the business aspect, economic aspect, but all these teachings are very useful and important for day-to-day life, actually to become a good citizen. Therefore, I think I am not going to explain further because there are many details in the Sigala Sutta. But however, you can read it. It is a very popular discourse and it is translated into many languages. You can read it and understand. I wanted to explain the main teachings. And also, if you have any question regarding this lecture, now it is time. Any question, no problem. Okay, thank you very much for your patience.
Uh, Thank you, Professor. I think that was an excellent piece of sharing, and I think our audience really appreciated the fact that you spoke and explained the Sigalovada Sutta, as you said, in terms of business and economics. But as you also mentioned, that this is for everyone, not just the businessmen. And how should I change this topic to how to run a good Buddhist business? So then probably we'll have more listeners coming in and listening to this evening's Dhamma talk. But there are no questions at the moment. I don't see any questions at the moment. So if we have no questions, I think, Professor, we will end this evening's Dhamma sharing. And I would now like to take this opportunity to actually thank Professor for taking time off from his busy schedule, and we had to delay the transmission for a little while because there were some technical issues. There's one question from Brother David who just popped in. Let me just show you. The question is, what about the spiritual development? Can you explain? Thank you.
Yeah, actually, spiritual development means, this is universal explanation because spiritual development is explained in various ways in various religions. But in Buddhism, it says that every being is subject to old age, disease, and death, and birth, old age, disease, and death. Jati, Jara, Vyadi, Marana. These are common to all people in the world, all beings. Therefore, people will be upset, will be unhappy at the time of death. Then there should be a solution for this problem. Because when we are hungry, we eat and be happy. When we thirsty, drink and be happy. Similarly, we should have a solution when we face disease, death. Also, we should have a consolation. What is that? That means, as long as we live in this world, we have to face all with these natures. Therefore, Buddhism advises to, although the world is changing, but we can keep our mind still, right? That means we should not be upset, but for that purpose, the naturally we cannot be happy at that time, right? When we face with disease and death, naturally we cannot do that. We have to train ourselves from birth to death. As I explained last time, from childhood until the deathbed, we have to systematize the life. Then spiritual well-being is based on good behavior. Then, even after becoming a businessman, I told you that Sigalovada Sutta advises, if you want to be happy, you have to perform your duties well. Performing duties means actually ethical life. Then we have no point of uh, be unhappy because we have done everything perfectly. Therefore, it is in gerontology it is called life course theory, because we have to prepare for that. We have to accept that reality as our own. We should not forget it. That is why in Buddhism some kinds of meditational practices are recommended. All are negative, on death, on filthy attitude, etc. Therefore, we should think they are part and parcel of our life. Therefore, we we should be happy every time by performing our duties and balancing our life. I think that is the way. That is called spiritual well-being. And because spiritual well-being is a requirement, because all people are subject to disease and death. Therefore, there should be a spiritual development. That means a strong mind should be developed by doing our duties perfectly. Thank you.
There's a second question, Professor, also from the audience. The question is it ethical for laymen to accumulate wealth?
Yes, because Dhammikam, Dhammaladdam, because Buddha says in many discourses in my books also I have explained this. You know, Bahabala Parichita. We have to work hard. Bahabala Parichita. Seda Vakittehi Gattehi. We should have a feeding body. Feeding body. Right? Seda Vakittehi Gattehi. Uh, and Dhammikehi Dhammaladdehi. We have to use the just means, righteous means to earn. And also, whatever we earn, we have to spend in a just way. And Ure Putta Nachenta, we have to fondle the children on our shoulders. Right? If we do like this, we can fondle our children happily on our shoulders. Kiro the ki bhuta, we will be mixed with the people like milk and water. Anyamanyam piyachakkuhi sampassanta. We will be looking at each other with pleasant mind. And Anyamanyam sappatissa. We will have confidence on each other if we do like this. And Sagarava, we will respect each other. Vivatadwar Vatapana, we would be able to live with open doors and windows without shutting them if we follow these ethical codes and lead such a life. Because remember, Buddhas and Arahants also arise in the world because of this family system. If there was no family system, who will produce those children? Prince Siddhartha? Who will produce the Siddhartha if there is no family system? If they don't earn, if they don't live, how to do? Therefore, even in Mahayana, it is emphasized that to be a bodhisattva, right? Because social duty or duty for the humanity is one purpose of our life, right? Therefore, such good personalities will come into being if as long as if there is a good family system in the world, good people. Otherwise, there will arise Hitlers, right? Pol Pots, right? They are also parents, no? Two parents produce Pol Pot. Another two parents produce Hitler. And another couple of parents produce Jesus Christ, Prince Siddhartha. Then what is the difference? That is the most important fact. Therefore, ethical means actually, even in business, not only in business, in politics, in economy, in religious activities, in social activities, everywhere, this ethical aspect is very important. If it is maintained, everything will become successful. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you for an excellent sharing this evening. I'm sure our audience appreciated your time and also they had learned a little bit more on the Sigalovada Sutta uh, and its context in terms of business and also on ethical issues. We look forward to more Dhamma sharings with you, Professor, in the near future when time permits. Um,
So I am also very thankful to you, especially my friend Secretary, Mr. Uh, and also all others who gave this, Mr. Leslie and all others who gave me the opportunity to share some good ideas with you. Actually, humanity means that if we, because in the samsara visavrutsasya dveva rasavatpali, this whole world is like a poisonous tree, but there are only two good fruits. That's the kavya amruta rasaswada. That means enjoying. That means in literature, music, dance, etc., and the good friends. Therefore, I believe that I have got some good friends through this, and also in the future, if you need my service, I will be ready for any time. And also today, also I remember Venerable Dhammananda Thera, who has done a great service in Malaysia to meet us, to discuss us, to propagate our Dhamma, and remembering all that Reverend Mahanayaka Thera, as well as all others who have contributed to these righteous actions. I wish all of you a happy new year with health, prosperity, and long life. Thank you very much with the blessings of the Triple Gem. Thank you.
yes, Professor, thank you and wish you a happy Sinhala New Year next Wednesday. Subha Alut Aruda Wewa.
Oh, you can sing, speak Sinhala.
Well, I can speak a little bit of Sinhala, no problem.
Right.
So for our devotee, just to inform you, next Friday there won't be a Dhamma talk because some of us are celebrating the Sinhala New Year, and many of our speakers will not be available as well. With that, we've come to the end of this evening's Dhamma sharing. Thank you, Professor, once again, on behalf of the Committee of Management and the monks of the Buddhist Mahavihara, to our sponsors this evening, and also to all our listeners who have been following us this evening. Thank you very much, and hope you appreciated the professors sharing with us. And we look forward to seeing you again next Sunday. And with that, we've come to the end and have a pleasant evening, one and all. Sadhu.
Okay, thank you.